Hi there, namaste, and welcome back to another spiritualistic pick a card reading. I'm so excited to have you here, and as always, I'm sending you all of my love, and I'm so grateful for you. Today, we are taking a look at what is next on your spiritual journey. So, please take a deep breath. As you inhale, draw the energy up your spine and create a clear, open channel. As you exhale, allow yourself to come into clear knowing which group or groups has your message today. We have group number 1 on the left with Expect the Unexpected. Group number 2 in the center with Past Life Regression. And group number 3 on the right with Extraterrestrial Downloads. This is my Follow Your Heart Oracle deck, which I will be using in the reading along with the Antique Anatomy Tarot. And I do want to let you know that the timestamps for your reading are listed below in the description box, as well as all of my information about contacting me, as well as my shop that has my books on it, A Comprehensive Guide to Astrology and The Fool's Journey. These are both available online at Barnes & Noble, as well as on my website and Etsy shop. Again, thank you so much for being here. I'm so extremely grateful for you. I hope that you're having a phenomenal day, and I am really excited to see what this energy has in store for all of us. It's an honor and a privilege to connect with you guys, and I will see you at your reading. Namaste. Hi there, Group 1. Namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today we are taking a look at what is the next part of your spiritual journey. You selected the first group with Expect the Unexpected, and I have to say, when I tapped into your energy, I saw and felt this bright white light that was like a huge hug. And I've been working with the archangels more these past few weeks, Group 1, and your energy feels a lot like this energy, which is beautiful. Very tapped in with the angelic realms. When I sat down to do your reading, I saw both the numbers 444 and 33. So you're very attuned, very aligned, very angelic. You might be an earth angel, but you got the Expect the Unexpected card, which I think is really awesome. So the next part of your spiritual journey, this is going to have to do with you, yes, experiencing something unexpected, but I'm hearing seeing the results of long-term effort is the phrase that's coming to mind. And they're showing me the Little Mermaid, like when Ariel is in her little grotto, like she's like, look at this stuff, isn't it neat? And she's all like happy and singing. You might be tapping in with an aquatic collective like the Mermaids, or with like Neptune or Poseidon. You might be tapping in with Mintaka for some of you. You might be tapping into like Sirius B. But what's really coming in though with Expect the Unexpected is there's something here about something taking a sharp left turn. And why this is coming up as what's next on your spiritual journey is because there's something that you don't necessarily see coming that is going to be appearing right before you. And as this happens, it's going to simultaneously manifest, I'm hearing like your greatest desires, but also some fears that are there as well. And I think that this is going to be a large part of, well, I don't want to say fear necessarily, because that has to do with the sacral chakra, and we do have the solar plexus here. So it might bring up something of like imposter syndrome or insecurity. For some of you, this might be a little bit of fear. This might be something about your heart chakra, about giving and receiving. There's something that's unexpected that's going to be showing up for you. And I'm getting this will be something that you have experienced before in this lifetime or another, but it will be something that triggered a large awakening for you, something that was a journey in and of itself, something that was a beautiful experience that unfolded you into the fullness of your being. And it's going to be showing up unexpectedly at your doorstep, right at your feet, given an opportunity for you to look at something in the face again and say yes or no or thank you next. This is going to be your decision, but there is something that's showing up that's going to be integral to the next chapter of your spiritual journey, and it's going to be unexpected. They're showing me light and dark. They're showing me yin and yang. They're showing me very dualistic outcomes. So if you've been experiencing an excess in one particular energy, you're going to be noticing that the pendulum swings the other way. Others of you, if you have been very balanced in your yin and yang energies, you'll notice that whatever this is transcends duality. So you might have a different definition of what it means to be balanced, but you're very guided and very protected by angelic energies at this time. So the next chapter of your spiritual journey, you may be tapping into like Archangel Metatron, for example. And this is a very, very powerful, strong energy. This archetype is very primordial, So you might want to look into that. I do have a channeled message from him, I believe by the time this comes out, I think it was 2 weeks ago. So you might want to take a look at that and see if there's a message in there for you, if that resonates. And you might be tapping in with like Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Raphael. There are just these energies that are everywhere around you that are beautiful, that are going to be supporting and loving you along the way. Now, there's going to be something here that creates an expansion in your heart chakra and requires a little bit of action on your part, but you're also going to be experiencing this as a result of long-term past effort. So this is going to be the spiritual awakening for you, or this is going to be consistent with that spiritual awakening for you. If you have a time period in your life, or maybe 1, 2, or 3, or another lifetime or something like this, if you have a very, very integral memory relating to like the thing that cracked you open to spirituality, or the thing that pushed you a step further, and it just really is like the X marks the spot moment or moments, you're going to notice that this is what shows up again. Whether it's the same situation, a person connected to this, and a hobby connected to this, an energy or a deity or an angel or whatever this is here, okay? You can expect the unexpected, because this is going to be showing up again, lovingly, gently, kindly. Nonetheless, it will. And so this is going to have you kind of facing, they're showing me pinball. You know, you're trying to just get the ball into like the hole. And on the way, it's like ding, 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 ding. It's like going everywhere, like hitting up against all the walls. Okay, so you're going to notice that you kind of are given this opportunity to bounce up against like some old framework, some old beliefs that didn't serve you, some old maybe insecurities, some old like, this is really good, this is really bad, I feel really confident, I feel really insecure, like all of these just tiny different little things that you've already worked through in order to re-enter the fullness of the situation. But they're showing me like literally going down the rabbit hole, like literally going back into this world of wonder. Not like a brush up against this, not it being shown to you, but actually diving fully into it. And you may resonate with having done this already before, but this is going to be like, this is why it's expect the unexpected, because you thought that you dove all the way into it before. And in a lot of senses you did, but you learned one aspect of it. You learned the hard way, and now you get to experience the easy way. Or you learned the part that has you face all your demons, and now you get to face all your brilliance. Or there's something like this that's coming up, and it's being angelically guided, angelically supported. So this is very, very strong angelic energy. Also, for some of you, if you resonate with having a passed on loved one or ancestor that, like, maybe when you were little, your family was like, oh, this is your guardian angel, or like, if you resonate with like a specific deity or an angel and you kind of call them your guardian angel, like in kind of a more, I guess, I don't want to say casual sense, but in a more like relative, grounded kind of sense, your little guardian angel like that, they are around with you right now as well, okay? Giving you lots of love, giving you lots of golden healing light, and sending you lots of like rainbows. They're saying rainbows and magic and unicorns, okay, and tea parties. So we have expect the unexpected coming up. This is definitely going to require action on your part, but it's going to be action that you are excited to take, but there's going to be hesitation here. So let's see why this is the next part of your spiritual journey, okay? Because it's going to be cracking you open to the unknown, but in a different way, like cracking you open the opposite way. There's this download that I received, and I think I walked you guys through it. I'm not sure if this was on my YouTube subs page or my Patreon. If you guys are on one of those and you remember this, drop it in the comments for me so that you can direct other people there if they feel the need. But they were showing me this like Kundalini going up the spine, and it like cracking open backwards so that the back was open, and it was all light because it had all been healed and activated, and it's cracking open this way. But they're showing me now it cracking open on the front, and kind of it creating this thin veil, just of a very, very thin veil in between, and kind of subsidizing everything that's in between, just kind of neutralizing it. So before you might have come from that group if you resonate with that, but it's something cracked open one way. Now it's going to be cracking open the other way so that all can be revealed and everything can be neutralized. Okay, so this is like if you you dive down the rabbit hole to find out that you were actually submerging into something. or you submerge into something to find out you were really going down a rabbit hole. Like there's something like the opposite is true. Okay, and if this has to do with something where you've recently dealt with unifying duality, okay, finding that union energy, that source energy, that transcendence of duality, this is going to have to do with bringing you back to the duality, or if you've been in duality, transcending that. Okay, I'm going to take a look at group number 1 more specifically. What's next on your spiritual journey? Let me see if I can get some. See if we can get some tactical information. This is vibes, you know, this is the high vibe tribe. This is definitely an energetic reading for you guys, but I want to see if I can get some spiritually, but a little bit grounded. What's next for group number 1 on their spiritual journey, please? I just keep hearing angelic guidance, angelic guidance. Woo, the star card. Love that for you. I'm hearing instant gratification manifestation with the world. Maybe you're no longer manifesting. Maybe you're only just experiencing. You're looking around, and anything that you could have wanted to manifest, it's already in your life. This is like you manifesting, like they're showing me a pickup note in music, okay? And I love this vibe, okay? In like sheet music, okay? Say that you have 4 beats in a measure, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, but there's like an and before, and it's not part of that measure, okay? But it's like it is part of it when you play the whole thing, but it's not part of it because it exists external to it. So there's something about that that's coming up, and they're showing me this in pertaining to your manifestations. So there's something where maybe you're doing some timeline work. This can be part of your the next part of your spiritual journey, where you're at a place where you want to manifest something, and so you have already manifested it moments before that idea is sparked in your brain. So it's already there. The moment that you conceptualize it, it's right in front of your face because you've already manifested it in the past. Love this. Expect the unexpected. Maybe you're like, oh, you know, it would be really cool if, and then before you get the words out of your mouth, somebody presents it to you. Okay. The star, the world, the emperor. Okay. Major arcanas. This is going to be a big deal for you. This is going to be repeating something that taught you self-sustaining energy, self-fulfillment. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All the numbers are on this card, and that's not always the case with minors. Oh, there's the 5 of Wands. If you feel a smidge of hesitation towards something being too easy, trust that it's only because you already did the work and you're receiving what you asked for, but you needed to receive what you asked for with the intended energy behind it, and that's not always the case. However, it is for you. So this next chapter of your spiritual journey is receiving old manifestations in the way that you would have wanted them to come in initially. And this is going to bring some unexpected things into your life. This is going to bring some opportunities for you to stand in your power into your life. This is going to bring some opportunities for you to like sit back and relax and just receive a little bit. And also this is going to help you understand that when you are following your intuition or when you are manifesting, you are really just making decisions based on the present moment. The past and the future is encoded in the present moment, and when you decide to change your future or alchemize your past, that has to do with micro shifts in the present moment. That's exactly how manifestation works. It's exactly how quantum leaping, timeline hopping works. So there's something like this about an expansion of this energy, okay? That's where they're showing me, again, a pickup note, okay? Knowing that you've already planted the seeds in the past for what you're going to want in the future. So in the present moment, you're following your intuition, but is it really your intuition, or is it you just existing? Okay, this is a very high vibrational energy. This is why I was picking up on that angelic guidance here. Okay, I'm getting that you're the angelic guidance. You have angelic guidance, but you also are the angelic guidance. 4 of Wands. Slay. All right, group 1, the next part of your spiritual journey. You want me to start here? We got the 10 of Cups, because I'm happy, clap along if you feel, oh my goodness, the Hierophant with the 9 of Coins, the Queen of Wands, Justice card, 6 of Swords. Now, why is this, what? Okay, we're going to look into this. Okay, we're going to see why you have the 5 of Wands and the 6 of Swords popping up on the future end of your reading. But I'm getting that this is, oh, okay, because this is the future you going back into your past. Can you, okay, I see. Okay. I'm using my Vayu Mudra. As you know, I usually use my Akash Mudra for straight channeling, but today I'm using the Vayu Mudra for your group because I want to use concise words to explain this. I want it to come out more clearly. So, you are becoming aware of the fact that you have already set the groundwork for what you're experiencing right now. But this leads you to transcending that idea of the future and the past. As we know, future just means higher vibrational, and past just means lower vibrational. And the present moment is exactly where you are, which is where you're meant to be. So is where you were supposed to be and where you're going, okay? And you can make shifts in the present moment. We know this. But there's a little bit of this question coming out about how do you know in the future, how do you know that future you is giving the energy that you need to you right now? This has you tapping into your future self. This has you tapping into your higher self. This has you tapping into your lower self. It has you tapping into your past self. Okay, they're showing me literally like the Incan cross, the Chakana, Chakana, or the Indian cross, as some people call it. It's giving as well the you know that old terminology about the three realms from a very like yeah, from that perspective. Okay, this is giving like you bringing together all of the realms. Okay, which is why this is integrating the angelic realm, like the light and the dark, the yin and the yang, the transcendence of all of that in order to create a self-sustaining energy where you're able to tap into the fourth dimension from there, tap into the future, tap in with the past. And when you're doing this, it has to do with your vibration, not just your experience. So there's the fifth dimension, tapping you open into the sixth. Okay, this is you. They're literally showing me the panchakoshas, okay, the 5 layers of consciousness. You are alchemizing. You're like breathing. Your consciousness, your aura is taking breaths. And the way that this is portraying itself to me is in the next part of your spiritual journey, everything that happens in the material realm is reverberating all the way out to the ether, the ethereal and bliss body layer of your consciousness. And that is coming straight back in. This is a clear channel, not just through your chakras, not just through your kundalini, not just through your future and past self, not just through your past, present, future parallel lifetimes in your current incarnation, but through all layers of consciousness. This is you inhaling and you sending that energy from your vessel all the way out into the farthest regions of space, into the deepest cosmos, into the void. And as you inhale, you're drawing all of this energy back in. You are a clear channel in every single sense of the term. Not from your crown to your throat, not from your crown to your root, not from your soul star to your earth star, not from past to future, or from your past life to now, or from now to the future. This is a totally clear channel. So you're going to be able to see, like, swimming through clear waters. That's what this is. Swimming through clear waters. And notice how it took me a little bit to kind of find that. Okay? Group number 1, you're going to be feeling so at peace. Because you know that you are angelic guidance. That's why you are angelically guided. Because you know that future you is taken care of because of past and present you, but you don't need to worry about it because you've already got it. Because the universe is you. You are the universe. This is literally giving divine union. So you're going to be noticing, this is where they're showing me this pinball analogy again from the beginning. You're going to be noticing that there are energies. I'm feeling called towards the Shakti Mudra here. Okay, so you might be tapping in with your feminine energy a little bit more. You're going to be noticing that you receive old manifestations in the way that you would have wanted them to come in, because you know that from a deeper, greater perspective where you are the all-seeing creator, being, source, God, whatever universe thing, down to you. How would you present this to yourself? When would you present it to yourself? What would you walk yourself through in order to be ready? What would work the best with you? What would be the best way for you to learn? What would be the best way for you to experience this on the other side of that lesson? And that is why you're going to expect the unexpected. Because you're going to expect it as much as you don't expect it. Because it's exactly what you've prepared for yourself and exactly what you wanted. But it's also a little bit of that shy, sheepish, humble energy there. About, well, who am I? Well, the meek inherits the earth. I had a beautiful conversation a couple weeks ago with a soul that I totally adore. And I'm not going to get into detail about it, but if you're watching this, hi, I love you. And this question was just permeating the entire time. It was, if you were face to face with Source, what would you do? I said, I would bow in reverence. And I said, treat yourself that way. And it's not to put yourself on a pedestal or act all high and mighty, but to say, hey, don't be sheepish. The meek shall inherit the earth. Why is that? Because what does Jesus say? What does Mahavatar Babaji say? What does Krishna say to Arjuna? What does any self-realized being say when asked, who are you? Really? They just say, am. I am. Or they breathe, Yahweh. It's that. Oh my gosh, yes, group 1. I love this for you. So the next part of your spiritual journey, group number 1. Notice that we have the Hermit and the 6 of Coins coming out. Reciprocity. Reciprocity of your energetic sovereignty, but not in a way where you're just floating out there on your own, in a way where you are grounded and floating at the same time, where you are alone and with everything and everyone all the time. This is full union, full, complete, divine union. Union with the divine. No more, no less. Nothing to teach you what that is. Nothing to scramble you to get to that. No separation between the two. This is the number 8. This is the infinity symbol. You may be noticing that there are some things that are Taurus or Venusian that have been kind of a main theme for a while. And why is that? It's because it's the opposite. It's the pinball, the bouncing off point to what? To Scorpio. To what's really beneath it all. To the depths, to the infinity. That got deep. And so that is why here we see the 6 of Swords and the 5 of Wands, because if you were divine judgment here, if you were the one that was angelically calling justice, which traditionally has Archangel Gabriel playing a trumpet, if you were that angelic guidance, if you were placing your heart on a scale with a feather, everything would just turn to golden light, to white light. So trust yourself as much as you trust in the universe. Trust in the universe as much as you trust in yourself. Expect the unexpected, because you're the one that set it into play. And you can trust yourself, just as you can trust God, you can trust Source, you can trust the divine. Trust that 4 of Wands, that union energy, that happy home, that happy whatever that those goals are of yours, short-term, long-term, grounded, financial, spiritual, and relationships. Yeah, you know why? Because Emperor, right in the middle of your spread, Emperor and the 9 of Coins. Because you are who you are. You are. You are. Oh my gosh. Okay, group number 1. I'm going to tap into, this is the Antique Anatomy Tarot deck, by the way. I love this deck so much. It's gorgeous, as you can see. We have my Follow Your Heart Oracle deck that I made here. I'm going to pull the next part of your spiritual journey with these cards. Okay, so next part of group number 1, spiritual journey. This is beautiful. Transcendence. If I ever saw it. You are so beautiful. You know, I bet this energy, I bet like your hair is like just glowing right now. I bet your skin is on point right now. I bet you're just like feeling like you're floating. I bet things are getting easier, like relaxing, and like your ankles and your toes and your shoulders. Like I just bet you're just decompressing and just like glowing right now. We have Forged in Fire. I'm hearing through the fire and flames. If you know, you know. Okay, we have Forged in Fire coming out. What else is next for group number 1 on their spiritual journey? This is divine activation. This is divine activation for sure. Tapping in with that. They're showing me the violet flame. For some of you, if you're Reiki masters, you will know what this is. If you're not, you may have heard of it already. Healing through violet fire, violet flame. Okay, we have Forged in Fire, revisiting priorities. Eyes like a hawk, precision, difference in vibration, and living in truth. This is where we mentioned in the beginning, first of all of these are heart chakra. We have a little bit of throat coming out in the past, but now it's all what? Duality to love, duality to love, duality to love, duality to love. And that's not the only kind of card I have in this deck, okay? So, you are going to be activated again, fully again. This is like washing, a cleansing through fire, a cleansing through violet fire. And this is going to give you more precision when it comes to the moments in your life, because that's all we really have, the individual isolated moment in front of you. Because whether it's past, present, future, parallel, or future, or past, or higher, or lower, or light, or dark, or transcendent, or whatever the heck it is perfect. It is divine. It is. And so, with revisiting priorities, eyes like a hawk, difference in vibration, you're going to be able to re-experience something that was an aha moment for you. You're going to be re-experiencing something that opened you up to living in your truth. Except this time, it's not going to be teaching you what that is. It's going to be unifying with you, holding your hand as you do this. Okay, so this is going to be something you've already alchemized, reapproaching, no longer so you can alchemize it, but so that you can see it. Again, truly, feel it, again, truly, experience it, again, truly, deeply, madly, truly, deeply, this time. So I'm going to see what it is that you're learning as I tap into a bibliomancy through my book, The Fool's Journey. This is an allegory of the major arcana of the tarot. I just thought it was kind of fun. Okay, so we have chapter 6. We have stepping forward as his most authentic and powerful self. The fool finally reaches the end of the road. To his surprise, he finds himself standing right on the edge of the cliff where he first began his journey. He knew he had headed towards the light and that there had to be more road ahead. He just isn't sure where to find it. The fool knows that if he jumps off the cliff again, he will repeat the same journey. Now the fool realizes he's not the same person that he was when he first began his journey. But if that's the case, who is he? Suddenly, Angel Gabriel appears from the clouds. What did we say? Sorry. Delivering strength through his mighty trumpet sound. The fool is in awe. So as you can see, you're coming to the end of this journey. You are at this almost reincarnation in every single moment type of vibe. This next part of your spiritual journey is you knowing that you are authentically yourself. You are powerfully yourself. You are light, and you know that you are reopening a journey again, but this time you're not the same. The fool realizes he's not the same person that he was when he first began his journey. We have Archangel Gabriel coming out again. Oh my goodness. Delivering strength through his mighty trumpet sound. Gabriel is certainly around you right now, group number 1. You are learning that the road ahead is going to, in a sense, mirror where you've already been. And that you had only already been there to prepare you for doing it for real this time. Not that that wasn't the case before, but that this time you're different. This time you've walked the journey. That's why I expect the unexpected, because it's exactly what you would expect in exactly the way you wouldn't expect it. Or exactly what you wouldn't expect, showing up exactly how you would expect it. And I think that paradox, that analogy is exactly what this is. You are always alone just as you're never alone, and you're never alone just as you're always alone. Also, a lot of connection with angelic energy, a lot of connection with Archangel Gabriel specifically, and living in your truth, living in the truth, in a very, very transcendental, very, very energetic, spiritual way. This is beautiful. I love to see this. This is giving ascension. This is giving truth. This is giving love and light and clarity and just being washed over by divine flame. There it is again. I'm hearing through the fire and flames. Why does that song come out when I'm channeling? Okay. Anyway, I'm sure that's a sign for somebody out there. So that is what I have for you, group number 1. Please subscribe to my channel. It would really mean the absolute world to me, because I'm not gonna lie, I have the coolest job in the whole world, and I love tapping into your energy. So thank you so much for sharing this space with me. It would mean the world to me if you would like, comment, subscribe. I really hope this helps shed love, light, and clarity on your situation and the next part of your spiritual journey. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful realm. And before I go, I just feel called to say something for a perhaps small few of you who resonated with this message, but were not fully understanding what was occurring. You're going to get there. You are closer than you think. Take deep breaths and allow yourself to create a clear, open channel behind your nose, between your throat and pineal chakras. Allow yourself to be, allow yourself to open up, to roll open, and trust and have faith. And the archangels are surrounding you, guiding you. You cannot go wrong. You are so close. All right. That's all I have for you, group number 1. Thank you again so much for being here. I love you with my whole entire heart, and namaste. Hi there, group 2. Namaste and welcome to your reading. Today we are taking a look at the next part of your spiritual journey, and you selected the second group with the past life regression card. Immediately when I was preparing for your group, I started hearing a dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep. And they were showing me Cinderella, like the before and after paradigm of Cinderella, which kind of is synchronistic with the past life regression card. And I want to specify Cinderella came through for you guys, group 2, because I haven't even thought about that story, that movie, anything like related to Cinderella in years, like as long as I can remember. So that might be specifically for you, group 2. Now, the next part of your spiritual journey, I'm hearing past life integration. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with what this is going to be where you have another timeline or another life that you are resonant with. For example, say you remember a life in Atlantis, or another life where you lived in a different culture. Maybe you remember a life on a different collective, or another life here on Earth. Whatever this is, there will be strong resonance between you and this past version of yourself. As we know, time all happens simultaneously, and this is where the timeline work comes into play, but I feel called to explain this, okay? So say you have a past, present, future, parallel lifetime, and it's really standing out. The integration of these two is going to be an opportunity for you to kind of dissolve bits and pieces of you that don't align with your most authentic, truest self as a soul, as an entire being, for your whole stream of consciousness throughout all of time, all of your incarnations, all of your lifetimes. And so, this is an opportunity for you to kind of connect the dots and integrate the two together, where you've learned the lessons from one and you keep the superpowers, kind of, so to speak, lightly, with what came with that. And you've released the lessons to grow out of that and grown into the next version of yourself. And what's left are the light attributes of these, and there's space in between because you've released anything otherwise. So you're able to integrate these together and find that authenticity in that higher vibrational aspect of yourself. You might want to take a look at your South Node and North Node in your astrological chart. A lot of people do say that your South Node is going to be the ascendant sign of your most recent incarnation, or by recent they mean the one that's the closest to your current incarnation, the one that has the largest imprint on you now, and your North Node is what you are meant to grow into. Another truth about the South Node and North Node paradigm is your South Node kind of is special skills and gifts and abilities. It's your powerhouse, like your South Node and your North Node. This is your toolbox. This is your spiritual toolbox. Your South Node is what you are phenomenal at working with, so much so that you might lean into it a little bit. And that is where we might fall out of balance. And that also might depict a large part of your childhood, or a large part of your dreams, your fascinations, your abilities, your special skills. And you'll notice the same thing goes for the energies of your North Node, but they might be ones that you're not as inclined to. They might be ones that you're a little bit still growing into, or ones that you know that you're good at, but maybe it's a little bit harder for you to do it, show up, okay? And that is a reason for that. So with this past life regression card coming out, the Cinderella energy, and all of these things that are showing up right now, the next part of your spiritual journey is going to be taking the skills from your South Node, from your other lifetimes, taking your skills that you've grown into, your North Node, coming into your path, and allowing yourself to alchemize them together, to integrate them together. And of course, with regression here, we can't really mention regression without remembering something. And here is where I'm hearing okay, so this is kind of saying that you might be circling back around to a dream, a wish, a desire, something that is kind of maybe something when you connect with your childlike wonder, with that big like squishy, gooey childhood heart of yours, with that optimistic paradigm, with those imagination realms from your childhood. There's something like this that is closer to you than you realize and is more realistic than you are giving it credit for, because you're being asked, or you're going to be shown, that your south node is not something to leave behind. It's not something to grow out of. It's something to stand on. And your north node is not the only direction that you take. Because as we know, if you look at your astrological chart, you'll see there are light and shadow attributes for every house, for every planet, for every zodiac sign. But a truly balanced energy is not any order or combination or resonance of any house or planet or sign or Vedic astrology or Hellenistic astrology or Draconic astrology. No. The balanced point is the axis dot in the center. So kind of like the south node here, there's this energy of, here are your tendencies and here is what you're growing out of. Yes, here is your karma, here are your lessons, here's what you like and what you don't like, here's what you're drawn to, here's how you express. But as much as you are an individual, as much as you are a part of the whole, you are also the whole of which there are parts. And that is where you are kind of coming back around to these original light attributes. You're coming back around to aspects that maybe you haven't explored in this lifetime or in a long time in this lifetime. You're opening up the tool belt that is your south node and stepping into your powerhouse. And again, with this past life regression, this is giving like, because Cinderella, I'm hearing Jenny from the block now. Okay, so that was Cinderella. It's very much giving like, just because you've been somewhere in the past doesn't mean that's where you stay. And just because you are somewhere in the present or you're going there in the future doesn't mean that you don't have that foundation that you have. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. Like Cinderella, like she's literally called Cinderella because she swept up, like she was like a chimney sweep for her family, Cinderella. And she ended up being like the princess at the ball. Like, no, the prince is like, I gotta find Cinderella. I don't know her name. I don't know her face. I don't know her vibe. I just know it's gotta be that one. Like, okay. So there's definitely this if the shoe fits vibe, okay? But there's also, in the next part of your spiritual journey, an opportunity for you to kind of bring several things together, remember who you've been, so that you can grow into where you're going. Not from an isolated or hyper-fixated standpoint. Not zeroing in on your north node or zeroing in on your midheaven, but looking at everything from the larger perspective. Looking at where you've been, looking at where you're going in this lifetime, larger than this lifetime, and identifying that clear pathway between the part of the whole and the whole of which there are parts. Which is beautiful. I'm seeing if here. And again, I'm hearing a dream is a wish your heart makes. And for some reason, I have this little Viking that I got in Oslo, and he's like holding a Norwegian flag. He's missing a horn on his hat, and he's drinking a beer. And I don't know why, but he wants to hang out with you today, group 2. So I'm just gonna put him right here. Hello, friend. I don't know what his name is. So if you have a good name for him, drop it in the comment box, because I would love to give him a name. I feel like he's a little spirit guide. Maybe he's a little, I don't know, a little guide. Anyway, let's see what the next part of group number 2, spiritual journey, please. They're showing me, okay, they're going back to the if, okay? If this had never happened, where would you be? If something had gone differently, where would you go? If you could do anything that you wanted, what would your life look like? What would you look like? This is kind of that freeing yourself from that south node, north node paradigm. It's kind of freeing yourself from your astrological chart. It's freeing yourself from hyper individualization. Page and Ace of Swords. Okay. We have the Page of Swords, the Seven of Coins, and the Hermit. This has a lot to do with deep diving. Some of you, this is going to have to do with embodying another lifetime of yours in your current incarnation. and you will know when the integration has been completed. For others of you, this has to do with learning more about your foundation so that you're able to understand yourself more. Maybe you feel like you are, for example, maybe you remember, well, this guy came out today, so maybe you remember having a past life where you were, say, a Viking. And maybe you don't know too much about Vikings. Maybe in this lifetime you were born on the other side of the world, speaking a totally different language in a totally different culture, and you didn't learn too much about it in school. This might be an opportunity for you to learn more about this so that you can understand parts of your soul. Not in a perhaps tactical way, but in a way where you're able to connect with not only your bloodline ancestry, but your soul's ancestry as well. I did do a beautiful collaboration reading about your bloodline ancestry versus your soul's ancestry with Monica over at Chemistry with Kismet Tarot. So take a look at that collaboration. It'll be in my collaborations playlist. I recommend that you take a look at both the videos if you feel called, if that resonates for you. We do have Ace of Swords. I feel called to pull it out for the reading. Okay, but that's the wheel underneath. I saw it. They're telling me to pull that out too and look at the King of Wands. Okay. Some of you might be noticing, for example, on this next part of your spiritual journey, that maybe you're remembering existing somewhere that you don't have information about. And this doesn't have to be a place. This doesn't have to be a different collective. This can be an emotional state or a feeling of empowerment. This can be a feeling of isolation or of healing abilities. Maybe this is a version of you that was a warrior, or a version of you that was a successful business person. Maybe you were a Pleiadian. Regardless of the situation, when you are stepping into this next chapter of your spiritual journey, you are being called to apply what you've learned in a personalized way. And you're being called to speak up on this so that you can continue moving forward, not only in the direction that you're growing towards, but in a way that they're showing me like the wheel. Okay, you're going to have a spoke on the left and a spoke on the right to kind of keep the wheel spinning, apart from like the spokes that will kind of look like this fan of hands here, like the central point, the axis point in the center. There will be one on the left, and this will be your south node, and one on the right, that will be your north node, where you've been and where you're going. But as we know, the past and the future are both integrated in the present moment. And as you clean that up, you'll notice that the wheel starts spinning as you're able to not only focus on where you're going and turn to the right, you're also able to now temper that out and keep them both spinning so that you're now going straight, instead of just leaning towards the energy that was adjacent or coming away from what your tendency is. And this guy keeps staring at me. There's a little spirit in this. I know there is. And it's interesting because he's a Viking. He's not like a Norwegian troll or anything. You know, they have those little trolls and they have little little friends. I don't know why that's coming up, okay? But it is. You have the Chariot coming out. What is the next part of group number 2 spiritual journey, please? I'm hearing isolation. Okay, so if you haven't been in hermit mode recently, this might be occurring for you. Some of you are coming out of hermit mode, but very selectively. Okay, there's something like leaving for a specific destination, or being very precise about what you are encountering or the experiences that you have. We have the Chariot with the Sun. These major arcanas here are beautiful. Chariot, Sun, Hermit, Wheel of Fortune. We have the Five of Wands coming out as the next part of your spiritual journey. Okay. I'm hearing the song, I Saw the Sign by Ace of Base. We have Six of Cups coming out. Let's take a look at these cards. I'd like to ask to call upon, please, group number 2's angel spirits, guides, and ancestors to help more concisely channel this message for them, please. Okay, thank you. Okay. You have received word, information, knowledge, communication about what the next chapter of your life is going to look like. And this resonates in some way, shape, or form with something you've already experienced. Now, because of this, there's a little bit of a needing to be cautious energy that's coming through. With the Five of Wands and the Hermit, there's this little bit of a, if you want it done right, you have to do it yourself, or if we are all the universe experiencing itself and divine union with the self is the end of the union journey, okay, then if union with the divine and union with the self is the only union that truly exists, then where in there is connection. And you're being called to not only speak upon this truth and to self-sustain yourself, but allow yourself to continue unraveling that until you come back around to connection. You come back around to, but everything is so beautiful because it's the same, and everything is so beautiful because it's different, because these are different parts of me, these are different parts of the universe. Because my South Node is in Pisces and your South Node is in Aries, because we are all the ocean of which there are droplets, because we are all the whole of which there are parts. And apart from this next part of your spiritual journey, it's going to in a lot of ways reaffirm your hermit mode, your isolation, your internal expression, your sense of self. And in a lot of ways, it's also going to pull you out of this, where you feel better speaking to people. Like it is a lot more precious when you connect with people, but it also isn't as serious either. There's kind of this paradox that's coming out with the Six of Cups about looking back and seeing where maybe you have taken your manifestations too seriously, or maybe you had been keeping your nose down and doing the work, right? Instead of appreciating the tools. There's something here about they're showing me now a lot of Disney coming out today. They're showing me Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. Okay, how we feel about that is how we feel about that. But what they're showing me specifically is two of the dwarves working side by side, kind of like whistle while you work kind of vibe. But what they're doing is keeping their nose down. They're not talking to each other. They're not focusing on their tools. They're not grateful to be there. They're kind of just doing their work for work's sake. Okay, instead of enjoying the moment, they're whistling, and that's their form of connection. They all are just whistling and knowing that they're there. There might be this energy here where you are connecting with your soul tribe, maybe spiritually, maybe you know that they're out there, but maybe there's not as much face-to-face contact. This is what's going to be growing, okay, because there's something here about building a community. There's something here about reaching out to old friends, old family members, old lovers, or people that you have had other lifetimes with in the past, and kind of rebuilding almost a new style of communication, or going back to an old way of being and integrating this into your connection with others as you are doing this for yourself, which is gorgeous to see. And you might notice that people that you've known in other lifetimes are reapproaching, and with or without the memory, there is still the vibration there. So you might be understanding why you are encountering certain people. You might be understanding how it's in your best interest to have been helping out the way you've been helping out. You might be understanding why it's in your best interest to have experienced some of the good, the bad, the ugly that you have. And you might be able to see this for others on a higher perspective as well. Now, we do have the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Coins kind of standing out to me here with the Knight of Cups. And this is letting me know that your self-expression matters, okay? This is obviously true because you exist and you're a person, and it is your right to express yourself the way that you see fit, authentically. But this is reaffirming, this is bringing this message home that your expression matters. So in the next part of your spiritual journey, you're going to be probably asked a lot of questions about who you are, where you've been, what you've experienced, and fun little things. If you have a little Norwegian Viking trinket, you might be asked about the story behind it. If you are wearing a Grateful Dead shirt, someone might ask you where you got it. If your favorite color is purple, somebody might ask you why. There's going to be a lot more self-exploration via the external realm. And this is where this hermit energy is being reaffirmed, but you're also being pulled into more connection and communication. You might notice that there's this curiosity swirling around you. What is your identity? What do you resonate with? Where have you been? Where are you going? Where are you right now? What is the cycle? Now I'm hearing Circle of Life by Lion King, and they're showing me Rafiki holding up Simba on the cliff. Literally so many Disney things coming up here. So Disney can be significant. Maybe you live in Anaheim or Orlando or Paris or Tokyo. I don't know. But with the Knight of Coins coming out, there is definitely this energy of taking the next step, but it's going to be more grounded, more physical, because you've been deep diving with, for lack of a more ethereal term, you've been deep diving with spirit lately. You've been deep diving with spirit as a concept, with your spirit as an individual, all the places that you've been. When we say past life, I really mean past, present, future, parallel lifetimes. I know people personally who are this is my, in all of their timelines that they can remember, in all of their Akashic records, all of their lives occur in future timelines. according to linear time from where we are right now. So that's why it's really a parallel life, and all time is happening simultaneously. There's a reason why those vibrations are seated here now. As we know, there are a lot of people who channel, like Bashar, a member of the Essassani collective, which doesn't even technically exist yet, although it always has. There are a lot of energies that tap into Tiamat or Maldek or the Dragon collectives, and these are beautiful energies too that technically don't exist simultaneously with us, but they do. But they do because time is not linear, because your life is not linear, your experience is not linear. And so as you've grown out of one thing and into another, you get to, instead of making it a linear cycle, you're actually unfolding like the second half of the infinity sign. You might notice that you've done a lot of work drawing your energy up your spine, up your kundalini, and now it's time for it to go, like, if you've been going from crown down to the root, down your back, maybe it's time to go from your root to your crown, up the front of your body, or vice versa. If you've been ascending your energy from your root to your crown, up your spine, it's now time for this to flow down the front of your body, from the crown down to the root. So there's this energy of completing the cycle, completing the circle. So you notice that a lot of the things that you're walking through are going to be very familiar or vaguely familiar, depending on where you've experienced them before. But nonetheless, they're going to be familiar. There's this energy of familiarity that is deepening in your spiritual journey now. And this might be because you are re-encountering old people, okay, retrograde season, okay, maybe old friends are tapping back in to say hi. But also, this can be like you having soul connections with people, remembering them from elsewhere, or this can also be you remembering other whole timelines, other whole experiences that were outside of this body, that are exactly overlaying where you are right now as you integrate these together. And you might notice that you have several experiences together at once, where you're able to kind of feel that mesh, that fabric of the in-between between all of them, but it's like you are the veil. Your vessel is the veil. That experience of everything being integrated, that is you walking in the veil. Not on the left side, not on the right side, not on the back, not on the front, but through it. And that is kind of its own little realm in and of itself, and that's beautiful. I do recommend you to look into Pratyahara when you have the time, if that's unfamiliar to you. If it is, this might be a great time for you to tap into that. As I'm telling you about removal of your life source from your physical senses, an ice cream truck drives in front of my house. Okay, so don't forget to indulge also. Don't forget to enjoy being here, because the spiritual journey is all about spirituality, of course, but this is actually the vacation part. Don't forget your physical incarnation. This is the vacation part. This is where you go to Hawaii for a week and you kick back and you relax and you forget all about your work life, you forget all about your home life, and you have a week and you go just turn it off for a little bit and you go play. That's what this is, juxtaposed to your grand soul. Okay, so that's why, as serious as this is, as much as deeply as you are experiencing this, cracking back open, seeing the connectivity between everything, it's really not that serious. Don't forget to enjoy yourself. Express yourself authentically. Who cares what other people think? Literally. And I mean, let's be kind, right? Let's be empathetic. But still, this is honoring yourself. This is integrating everything that you've learned together. And they're drawing me again to the Six of Cups with the Chariot and the Eight of Wands here, which is letting me know that you are kind of reapproaching old things in order to kind of have the sense of nostalgia that overlays like excitement of the future, and drawing those two things together too, to show you who you are, who you've been this whole time, the foundation that you've built, and what you're expressing and why you're expressing. Now, to break this down simply, we have the Eight of Wands in the past. We have the Queen of Cups in the future. In the past, you were going. You were speaking, you were learning, you were conversing, you were traveling, just all the movement there. And in the future, we have the Queen of Cups. This is receiving love. This is being an authority figure, but not in like an emperor kind of way, in a very calm and peaceful and just kind of serene kind of way. It's kind of giving Mother Mary. It's giving Divine Mother. It's giving like Lakshmi, which is beautiful. It just felt like a hug when I said Lakshmi. So there's definitely going to be some sort of physical glow up that is directly incorporated with a spiritual glow up, but it's going to be as a result of a culmination of several things. spiritually coming together and permeating externally into the physical realm. But again, don't forget to enjoy where you're at. Okay, there's this energy of this happening huge, really fast, all at once. You having an awakening, and then boom, there's a huge ripple effect. You feel different, you're walking differently, you act differently, you have access to all these old tools and these new tools and everything. You just feel like you are it. And this is beautiful. And honor this authentically when it comes in. But at the same time, you're being called to honor that foundation. When you remember, honor the forgetfulness, because that's the best thing you can do for yourself or others as well. Because this is a realm of illusion. This is a realm of forgetfulness and learning and unlearning and relearning, but it's truly remembering and forgetting. And so as you remember and you have this huge ripple effect and you want to probably scream about this on the rooftops, get all excited, and you notice now you have the next steps in front of you, you've got all the tools in front of you, you're looking like this little Viking guy, he's missing half of his hat and he's drinking a beer and he's whatever, got his cape on, he's having a great old day. When you're in this energy, remember, it's like saying remember the struggle, not because you get to struggle, but because that's your point of connection. Because you forgot and then you remembered. And so you're looking at other bits and pieces of you that have either forgotten or remembered, whether or not you're familiar with them or not, because that in and of itself is either a memory or a forgotten one. And so that is you existing within the veil. That is this past life regression card here coming out. And the exploration of this in-between energy here, of this veil, this is going to open you up to, we have the Wheel of Fortune with the Knight of Coins. So abundance, inheritance, forward movement, spiritually, and of course physically. Some of you are going to be experiencing a physical glow up as well. What I mean by this, you're walking with a different pep in your step. Maybe you have a zit on your nose you've been trying to get rid of, it clears up. Maybe you feel like you are putting a little bit more pride in what you are wearing, not because of external pressure, but just because it feels good. This is a little bit, because you are focusing less on the material realm, but you are existing in it. You're almost subconsciously brushing up a little bit. You might notice your place is a little tidier. You might notice that you're dressing a little nicer. You might notice that you're speaking a little bit cleaner. And it's not because you're putting conscious effort towards doing so. It's because it's a result of these integrations. It's a result of allowing the universe to work through you, but allowing you to work through the universe. It's really that second one, although they are coexistent and co-creative. Now I'm going to take a look. Oh, I forgot to mention again. Oh my goodness. This is the Antique Anatomy Tarot that I'm using today, which is beautiful, as you can see. And I'm using my Follow Your Heart Oracle deck for this next segment. So what is group number 2 opening up on their spiritual journey? What does the next part of group number 2's spiritual journey look like for them? Angel, spirits, guides, ancestors of group number 2. They would love for you to check out that collaboration I did with Monica. Okay, that is on my collaborations playlist. You can find that on my profile. It is messages from your ancestors, your bloodline ancestors is what Monica did. And I did messages from your soul's ancestors. So from your different incarnations, those ancestors, as opposed to your bloodline in your physical body. Okay. We have Escaping the Matrix, Energy Transmutation. I just heard that Bass Nectar song, Matrix. Back to the basics, back to the matrix. Bah, 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 bah. Energy transmutation, divine detour, stand in your power, listening to animal guides, and crystal light. Okay. So, this is going to look like something that shakes you up a little bit, but in a way where you remember. Okay, this is giving like a realization, but it's like, oh yeah, that's right. This is giving, like, remembering something in the blink of an eye. I'm hearing, I say this so lightly, I don't know why this is the phrase that Spirit's giving me, but they are, so I'm going to say it and then just take it with a grain of salt. I'm hearing reverse trauma, okay? It's giving like a shock to the system where you're able to see, like, from a higher perspective, who, what, when, where, why, how, all of the things. See, oh, that was a detour because it led me to my power. See, oh, this is why I have that animal guide, because they helped me transmute this. Oh, I was tapping into my crystalline body when I was seeing beyond this. And then when I was in this realm over here, I was tapping into crystal. And then that's why I saw the colors. And that's why I have this crystal. And that's why I have this rock. And that's why I have these, like, it's giving the attention to detail that you've already known, that you set into play. It's giving the subconscious parts of the universe becoming conscious to you. And when I say that, I mean every single thing is encoded perfectly in the universe. And we understand and we remember and we realize what we're meant to on our journey. And we have help. This is where we have our spirit teams, our higher self. If you resonate with that, or oversouls, as some people call it, it's how we understand alchemy and different things from our body looking up. But this is giving the perspective of the universe looking down, understanding the blueprint, understanding the coding. Like they're showing me like computer coding, so that can be a sign or a significance for some of you, or it can just be an analogy here. They're showing me, yes, the numbers, numerology, angel numbers, but they're showing me like a code on a computer where you're able to see the website, but you're able to see the code within it, and you're able to understand why each letter, why each symbol, why each number needed to be exactly where it is. But when it comes down to your life, so this is a really big deal, and we have divine protection at the back of the deck. You're going to realize in this next part of your spiritual journey how protected you've really been. And every single day, you probably realize that you're more and more protected than you could have ever imagined, and every day it just turns it up a notch, and this is just going to be another, like you thought the volume button went to 10, you thought the notch went up to 10, it goes up to like 400, like that's how divinely protected you are, and that you've been, and that you'll continue to be. And this is just going to be more and more and more. You're going to feel safe. Safety in the universe by understanding its blueprint, by feeling the truth, by escaping the matrix, but simultaneously understanding the workings of it in a way where you feel peace, in a way where you feel calm, in a way where you feel imagination and optimism and hope and love again. And I know that's a weird roundabout, but I'm saying that because when you see that blueprint, that would be your north node. That is what you grow into. And from there, it's shooting directly right back to that sweet, wild-eyed, wonderful child that a dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep. And if we look at the waking world as the sleeping world, and we look at the spiritual world as the awakened world, as an analogy, okay? A dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep. But then you awaken and you remember and you realize why you had those dreams, why your heart was wishing that. Because the heart is a portal to what? The divine, to yourself. And so this is really like, it's self-exploration by diving in deeper within yourself, but also by deepening your connection to everything, understanding how powerful you really are, and how much you don't have to do, and how much you really can do, and why everything is so perfect all the time. And I'm getting hyper synchronicities too. This is like when you see a synchronicity and then you understand what's going on, and then you get hyper synchronicities, like instead of saying 222 and you're like, oh, okay, got it. Everywhere you look, it's like only angel numbers, and like the song that's playing is like, you know, when you're in those moments where you're like, like you're so in tune and it's just everything. It's that, but cracked out of that to the point where you're like, oh yes, I am placing this here. And let's see what she gets, folks. And just watching yourself in amazement, like walk through the right steps, experience the right incarnations, making the right moves, doing the right things, being so protected. It's like this whoa moment. That's what's next on your spiritual journey. And that's, dare I say, that's freaking cool, group 2. You're awesome. I'm going to see what you're learning. So what I'm going to do is do a little bit of bibliomancy. I'm going to flip to a random page in my book, The Fool's Journey. This is an allegory of the major arcana. And so just kind of the Fool walks through the major arcana cards. So we're going to see what you have today, what you're learning. We have 21, which is the World card. Okay. If what happened in his mind created the events in the outside world, then what else was he manifesting? The Fool wondered if he had ever accidentally manifested something without realizing it. He needed to look within again, but deeper this time. Pensive, the fool looked up and saw, in her power, the moon. Just as the moon pushed the tides, so did it influence his experience and his emotions. He intuitively felt the moon encouraging him to explore himself one more time. Hit me, baby, one more time. I'm so sorry. I have to. It's like spirit channeling. Anyway, the fool closed his eyes. However, this time he plunged into the darkest shadow side of himself. These were the parts of himself that he did not want to look at. The moon embraced the fool, encouraging him to love this side of himself and show it to the light. She showed him how to have compassion and forgiveness for himself. In this loving awareness, his intuition heightened, and he became one with his thoughts and emotions, mind-heart coherence. The fool had once again faced his fear, but this time the lesson made him acknowledge the parts of himself that needed to heal. Instantly, he saw all of the negative thoughts, patterns, and behaviors that had come up throughout his life, and suddenly it was no longer a concern for him. He had already defeated the devil and proven his spiritual worth. He decided to stay present and release all past energy. I feel called to stop there. So, this is definitely saying that you're kind of turning something inside out. You're seeing the in-between. You saw the light, you saw the shadow, and now you're seeing the integration of the two and how even the shadowy parts were intentional and positive, and how the light parts were merely your like your guideposts, like your lighthouse. And you're going to tap a little bit more deeply into connection with the people around you, with the things around you, the perfection of the universe, and the synchronicities that you've been seeing. Specifically, if there's one sign that you've been seeing and kind of following around, or it's been following you around, and you're taking notes as to what that is, or you're following it like the yellow brick road, but you aren't sure what it's leading you to, this is the moment that's going to be coming up for you. Also, group number 2, you're going to be diving more deeply into connection with other versions of yourself. Past, present, future, parallel life, however, wherever, whatever that resonates with for you, other versions of yourself that you feel connected with. This is your pathway to connection with the material world around you. And so, these coexisting, simultaneous parts of yourself sound a little bit synchronistic with all the other droplets of that grand vast ocean, don't they? So that sounds like the rabbit hole that you are going to be going down. That is the next part of your spiritual journey, group number 2. I hope that this helped shed love, light, and clarity on your situation, and it would mean the absolute world to me if you subscribed to my channel, if you liked and commented on this video. I'm not gonna lie, I have the coolest job in the whole world, and I love what I do and connecting with you guys. And so thank you for the opportunity to dive into your energy. Thank you for connecting and staying here till the end. Thank you for being yourself and existing in this beautiful universe, because teamwork makes the dream work. Even just in living and breathing and existing, and you're beautiful and you're loved. And I hope that you know that, group 2. I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful realm, you beautiful being. And I love you so much. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time. Namaste. Hi there, group 3. Namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today, we are taking a look at what is next on your spiritual journey. You selected the 3rd group with extraterrestrial downloads, and the first thing I want to mention is that I actually am recording your group first, which I almost never do. The reason that I'm recording out of order today is because I actually got called to channel a collective this week that I haven't tapped in with before, and I was a little bit nervous about it, so I chose this topic instead. When I was pulling at random the cards for the reading, I felt the vibration of this collective come through with group number 3, and of course the card we got was extraterrestrial downloads. So what might be next for you on your spiritual journey, group number 3, is connecting with either the earth on a deeper way, since I'm seeing tear here, or it can also be you going into some more, maybe I'm seeing trial, like some more trivial places in your spiritual journey, whatever that means for you. Now, some people picking up their first deck of tarot cards is trivial. For other people, tapping in with the mantids or Andromeda is trivial. It's going to be different for all of you, since this is a general reading and we do get quite a lot of viewers here. But there is definitely an indication that you're going to be receiving a lot of downloads for the next part of your spiritual journey, and you might be connecting with a new collective. Some of you, if your comfort zone is connecting with planet Earth, with Gaia, you might be tapping in with Tiamat. If you're connecting usually with Pleiades, you might be tapping in with Arcturus. And this doesn't just have to be extraterrestrial. This might just be something that is beyond the Earth. And this can be something like a different collective. This can also be something like expanding your worldview, like learning a different perspective, seeing something beyond the veil. But either way, this is coming through. I'm hearing neurological pathways. I'm also hearing your nervous system. And some of you might be picking up on new sensations clairsentiently. As we know, empathy, when you're able to empathize with somebody else or being an empath, this is where you're able to pick up on someone else's emotions, whether it's remotely, how you would experience how they're feeling, or directly by you experiencing what they're experiencing through your aura picking up on it. Clairsentience is the umbrella term for what empathy falls under, which most of you are familiar with. There is a new vibration or a new sensation that you will be feeling that is going to be a very pivotal part of the next leg of your spiritual journey. There is something here where you are going to need to, they're showing me like someone putting up their hair and rolling up their sleeves to figure something out or to get something done. And this is showing up as part of your next spiritual journey because this might require you to approach something that's been unapproached, tap into something that might be seen as trivial to you, those around you, or a community, or to channel and download messages that might just be coming through like wildfire. And as this occurs, you might need to just like get your hair out of your face if that applies to you, roll up your sleeves so that they're not getting in the way, and setting yourself in like a trance state, doing some automatic writing or something like this. You have definitely a lot of downloads coming in, and you might be surprised with what's coming through. And they're showing me a direct channel download with a lot of information coming through very quickly. So this might indicate that the next leg of your spiritual journey does have to do with you receiving a lot of messages, a lot of information, a lot of ancient wisdom and downloads and beautiful things like this, but it's going to be a little less so A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, and here's how we're explaining it to you, here's how you're going to portray it, and then you take down notes afterwards, and a little bit more, it's running right through your fingertips. You're typing it out on the notes on your laptop, or you're typing it on your phone, or you're writing it down, and it's literally just moving through you, literally, in a way where you might not even be fully entirely aware, like your higher self knows what's going on, but this is like giving speed channel. I don't know about you, but sometimes I've sat down for automatic writing sessions, not through like inner child healing or connecting with my higher self, but sometimes just tapping in with like a spirit guide or a collective, and I'll just sit down and like start channel writing, and whatever comes out just comes out, and I'm kind of like elsewhere in a sense, like in a meditative state or connecting with light or just breathing or something like this, and my fingers will just go and go and go, and after like a very, very short amount of time, I'll have like 20 pages of like just information downloaded, and sometimes I'll save them for later, sometimes I'll go back and read them, and the information is just getting downloaded into your DNA. For others of you, there's information that's already in your DNA that you are unlocking, and this is going to be something that is ungrounded, okay? So when you have time and space, I'll recommend to take extra time to ground yourself when it comes to holding that opposite energy of this deep connection with space, with the void, with an extraterrestrial collective, with a terrestrial collective, something beyond the veil, okay? Some of you, they're also showing me earthwalkers. So if some of you are mediums, you might be opening up to a deeper sense of mediumship. And others of you, if you are not yet mediums, you might be surprised to find, or not surprised, I don't know, but you might be finding yourself cracking open to this. Now, mediumship can come in the form of earthwalkers and ancestors and angels and spirits and guides. Of course, extraterrestrial collectives, terrestrial collectives that are within and amongst us. You can even tap in with plants and animals and crystals and stones and everything, all the time, everywhere. It is moving, breathing, living energy. And so this next chapter of your spiritual journey is going to heavily relay this energy, okay? The connectivity of everything. And when you feel more connected with everything, and you're in that everything is connected energy, it allows you access to things that are beyond your wildest imagination, beyond what you can find perhaps sometimes on Google, perhaps sometimes beyond things that you are able to find information on tangibly, but you remember it internally because you have access to everything in these realms. And the more that you are releasing and letting the universe work through you, of course, make sure that you are aware of what you're connecting with. Make sure that you are grounding yourself. Make sure that you are protecting yourself. Make sure that you're cleansing yourself before and after. Something that I learned when I was training for Reiki specifically is after you're done working with an energy, wash your hands with cold water and put your bare feet on the earth in order to cut the cord between you and that energy. There are other ways to do this, but this is a very quick way to get the energy off of your hands and to ground yourself back into your body. Find your energetic solidarity. Also do a little chakra check, a little kundalini check. You know the drill, you know the vibe, whatever works with you individually in your practice. But you did get the extraterrestrial downloads cards. I did share with you in the beginning the reason why I'm recording your video first. So just be aware that you're going to probably need a little bit more rest. And this is going to be because you're doing a lot of spiritual powerhouse work. Okay, so when somebody, and by somebody I mean a group or an ancestor or a spirit or a plant, perhaps, whatever this is, comes to you, and make sure that there is mutual trust, make sure that there is make sure that there's energetic protection, set some sort of boundaries, something that I like to do comfortably when I'm working with energies. Sometimes if I feel like I need time to trust them, like the first time, for example, I tapped in with different collectives, I was a little bit wary because I hadn't heard either too much about them or something like this. I'm going to pull my blue Tektite Moldavite down for your reading. And so I'll ask them things like, when I feel comfortable, or I'll set a vibration and I'll say, like, if I can work through this, or you can meet me here, this is my comfort zone. And if they respect your boundaries, they respect your comfort zone, that's an energy that it's okay to work with. Okay. Just make sure that you are doing your due diligence there, but do be aware that there's something that will be out of your initial comfort zone, but it will be light intended. It will be positive coming towards you, and it will be encouraging you to either channel, automatic write, vibrate with something, or pick up on new sensations that you might be able to maneuver into your life, into your energy work practice, into something like this. Okay, so this is going to be a big one for you guys. I'm hearing it's going to hit you like a ton of bricks, but in like a good way, but it also might be a little bit where you need to perhaps establish like boundaries, or where you need to make sure that you're feeling comfortable and confident. And this is going to be something that definitely has you release some preconceived notions about something. Okay, maybe you're like, oh, starseeds are BS, and then you find out that you're one. Okay, this might be something where they're like, oh, mantids are bad and they're reptilians, and then you connect with them and you're like, oh, that couldn't be further from true. Or perhaps even you're connecting with I don't know, the Anunnaki, and people are like, oh, you can't do that because of the Necronomicon, and you're like, oh wait, actually they're just a collective of deities from Nibiru that the Sumerians were connected with. You know what I mean? Like there's so much deeper. Okay, so there's something here that's going to get just smoothed out and regulated, and there's going to be a lot of information that comes through you for this next part of your spiritual journey. That was a lot of the first card. I'm gonna get to your tarot cards now. This is the Antique Anatomy Tarot deck. You guys ask me this on TikTok all the time, and I love this deck. It's gorgeous, super gorgeous. Okay. The next leg of the spiritual journey for group number 3. They want me to pull it. 4 of Coins. Okay, there's something that you may have been holding back. Maybe there's a gift that you've already had for a while that you might not want to tap into. Maybe you've had access to a particular collective for a while and you haven't gone around to finishing the journey or seeing what they want to speak with you or the reason why you're connected there or something. Anything and everything you are connected to. So anything and everything that you feel really excited towards or nervous about, anything that you feel an extra type of way towards, whether it's positive or negative, that's because there's some sort of energy connecting the two. And your response to that is going to be visceral and very human, very grounded. It's going to be a reflection of something that you have experienced, okay? So be aware that whatever this is that you're connecting with, it's already familiar to you. And your higher self already knows what it's doing. Okay, so tap in with that. If you need time and space and breath, allow that to be the case. Breathe. Okay, so there might be a gift that you've been holding on to for a while that you haven't been speaking about, and your intuition is showing you the ropes again, or it's telling you it's time. Okay, We do have the High Priestess coming out with the Judgment card. We also have the King of Coins, and this is the King of Cups at the back of the deck. Okay? You're tapping into using an ability in the physical realm that you haven't used tactically in this lifetime yet. Okay? Maybe you have a little bit, but this is going to be something where you're wearing it loud and proud. Okay? You have the Seven of Coins, the Ace of Cups, and the Queen of Swords. Some of you are going to be called to relay some messages, whether these are channeling through you or whether you are stepping into an ability that maybe like to others shouldn't be possible or something. They're showing me Dr. Sebi. Okay. He was able to prove that you can cure cancer. He was able to prove that there are several different ways you can cure cancer without using pharmaceutical medicine. And he was, of course, taken to court. And of course, he was able to have hundreds of witnesses saying, no, I literally had deadly cancer and the Western medicine treatments were not working. I was getting sicker. I saw Dr. Sebi. Cancer is gone. Cleared. Here's the scans. Here's the proof. Here's the receipts. Everything. Now, it doesn't need to be this extreme, although it can be. But the next chapter of your journey is going to be you breaking the glass ceiling in some sort of area. Okay, if there's a gift you haven't been using, this is going to lay the foundation. Okay, you are being shown the ropes again for something. You are reconnecting with something again. And this is going to help you feel more connected with yourself than you ever have before, because there's this energy here of tapping into this energy and saying, oh, I am home, or oh, I remember this, oh, that's a missing piece. But I'm also hearing the Sheryl Crow song, The First Cut is the Deepest. So there's something here about, what is it? I could have given you all of my heart, but there's someone who's torn us apart. So maybe there's something where you dove into something before, okay, and it perhaps like was the first cut, and it hurt a little bit. This might be in your soul, this might be in your life. There's kind of this energy here about, again, something being a bit trivial or a trial and error process or just something here, okay, where you're going to need to inhale, exhale, ground, okay, because this energy that's coming through you, it's only a pattern of remembrance and recognition for you. But you're being called to ground this energy, seed it into the earth, let it out the bottoms of your feet, let it out the soles of your feet into the earth, which is why you're being recommended to ground. And it's actually not because your energy needs it to deal with this energy. It is helpful. However, it is one of several helpful things you can utilize for this. You're actually being called to seed this vibration, to ground this, which is why you're being called perhaps to sit down and channel messages so that there's some sort of physical record somewhere, so that it is able to ground from any dimension through the fourth, your experiential realm, your energy, into the third, by you writing it, by you making something, by you doing this gift, by you acting on something, by you channeling this message. So let's see what else is next on your spiritual journey, group number 3. This is going to be something that draws either a lot of attention to you or makes you feel like you stand out, okay? I'm also hearing green thumb, okay? So some of you might be working with plants in like an interesting way. I'm feeling called not to like just dive into examples too much, because I feel like this is going to be something that is very private for you, and it's probably going to be very unique. I feel like I'm speaking with a lot of magical beings, okay? Which is amazing. But with that being the case, you know, I respect your sovereignty, and I'm picking up on a lot of very cool very cool things, and they're reminding me that anything that exists in an imaginary realm exists in the fourth dimension or beyond, which means that it's really just someone remembering something that they've experienced or witnessed somewhere in their realm of consciousness and experience. So, with that being the case, let's see what the next part of your spiritual journey holds for you. Make your own path. Okay, you're definitely going out on a limb here. Okay, you're definitely going to be expressing, whether this is to yourself or others, something that your soul recognizes, something that you've done before. It's going to make you feel empowered, make you feel like you're at home, make you feel like you are being yourself, you are connecting with your own, you are where you're supposed to be. It's your ancestors and ascended master. Check this out. Group number 3, the next part of your spiritual journey, this is going to be you going out on a limb here, standing in the sovereignty of your soul even deeper than you are right now, and connecting with energies that you've definitely connected with before that have been guiding you for a long time. It's your ancestors. So some of you, this might be connecting with a collective for the first time, or a new collective, or a collective for the first time in a long time. This is your ancestors. This is your star ancestors. These are your earth ancestors. Maybe you're connecting with your ancestors, but they're the roots of the sequoia trees. Maybe you're connecting with your ancestors, but it's the Lyran collective. Maybe you're connecting with your ancestors and it's a passed on loved one that you're experiencing as an earth walker, and you haven't opened up these abilities before. But this is going to be something that awakens your soul. And I'm hearing the song Awake My Soul by Mumford & Sons, which is beautiful. And it's the part that says, you were made to meet your maker. You were made to meet your maker. Okay. I want to see what you're learning right now, or what you'll be learning on this next part of your journey. So I'm going to be practicing some bibliomancy out of my Fool's Journey book. This is an allegory of the major arcana of tarot. So I'm going to flip to a random page. Okay. All of a sudden, the fool feels a pit in his stomach. A change has occurred nearby, but it did not seem pleasant. Turning a corner, the fool notices a burning tower, that's your card, nearby, crumbling into ashes. Unsuspecting inhabitants fled the building, running towards the trail. This tower's destruction had brought terrible change to these poor people's lives. The fool felt terrible. Surrounded by misfortune, he thought back to the hanging man. Sometimes bad things can be good. Often it means the worst is over. Endings come with new beginnings, and new beginnings bring new perspectives. Inspired, the villagers followed the fool to a nearby river. Okay, so there's something here about a preconceived notion, like you bringing change to a preconceived notion, perhaps tapping in with your inner child, or allowing yourself to experience more fun, more pleasure, or just more play when it comes to your experience spiritually. This is going to be something that creates like a tower moment for the collective as a whole, or for Earth. This is going to be something that makes a new change, and it might destroy a lot of people's preconceived notions or what they were taught to believe. Not in like a negative, destructive sense, but in a way where you can finally close. You're helping the collective close a new chapter by what, number 19, the sun. Okay, we have 3 triangles here. You're connecting. I'm literally hearing the Holy Trinity. You're connecting the Holy Trinity of something, perhaps a triple moon goddess or something. And number 19 is the star card. This is 1 and 9, finding your personal freedom by standing in not only your power, but allowing yourself to come into the fullest sense of self. And this comes to a number 10, of course, which is indicative of closing out a cycle, and also the Wheel of Fortune. So this is going to be something that's really lucky for you. It's very abundant for you, but it's going to feel like a bit of a tower moment. It's going to have you going out on a limb, but it's going to be entirely driven by your soul. You're going to recognize that whatever comes in, you're going to feel a little bit maybe hesitant towards it, because it's something that you've either locked out, it's something that you haven't worked with, it's something that you feel nervous about speaking on, or something like this. But this path is your own, and this is part of the reason why you were put here. And I want to make it clear that you have not been on your path. You've been on your path. You've been guided. You've been following your intuition. You've been doing the right thing at the right place at the right time. But now you're deepening. Now you're opening up to more precision. And so you're finally at the point where you're deep diving enough to experience something that you haven't experienced before. You might feel a little bit nervous about it, so go easy, set your boundaries, but do be aware that in some way, shape, or form, there is a tower connected to this. But it's going to be spiritual and it's going to be blissful. Okay, they're showing me like a butterfly cracking out of a cocoon. So this is going to be like more of a grand release than like a destruction kind of energy. Although this grand release for you, it's going to liberate you, but you might notice that it shakes up some things around you. So when this happens, stand in your sovereignty, put your feet on the earth, ground yourself with light up and down. Know that you're connected. Know that you are guided. Know that you're moving through love, and that it's time for this now, okay? Know that you've done this before and you'll do it again, and that this is a big part of the reason why you're here. Because whatever you're connecting to, even though it might seem trivial, or whatever you are learning, although it might seem trivial, or whatever you're doing. Maybe some of you are nervous about automatic writing because you don't know what you're going to be channeling. Maybe some of you are nervous about channeling this because you're like, am I really channeling this? Whatever this is, okay? Yes, you are, and it's okay, and it's safe as long as you believe that. And this is familiar to your soul, so let it take the reins. The only thing to fear is fear itself. But what we want to let you know here is that with Ascended Master, this is going to be you moving through love, moving through connectivity. You were made to meet your maker. There is nothing that you can possibly come into contact with that is not connected with you at all. Whether it's light or dark or good or bad or outside of duality altogether. Remember that. So, the next part of your spiritual journey, this is going to be a big stinking deal, Group 3. And it's going to liberate you spiritually. It's going to help you feel at home. It's going to help you feel safe. It's going to help you feel like you are loved and you are spreading love. It's going to help you feel at home. And it's going to help you build a new foundation. And it's going to be something that definitely is literally earth-shattering. It's going to be something that's earth-shattering. This is like a positive ripple effect that you having this experience is going to create on the entire world around you. So group number 3, that is the next chapter of your spiritual journey. I hope this helps shed love, light, and clarity on your situation. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It would mean the world to me if you subscribe to my channel. It helps me out so much, and I really love what I do, and I love you guys, and this is just the coolest job in the entire world, and I'm so blessed to connect with you guys. I want to say thank you for the vulnerability and the space, allowing me to tap in with your energy today. I want to send you all the love and light that I can, and after I'm done with this reading, I'm actually going to set an intention to send you guys a little bit of extra love and light and some hugs, so that whenever you are in this experience, you're able to hopefully feel me tap in that moment that you need it, and I'll give you a little hug and a little bit of light, okay, just so that you can feel that support, because we're all here for each other, and I love you, and let's lift each other up. Anyway, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful, beautiful realm, group number 3. I love you with my whole entire heart. Thank you for being here, and namaste.